Hey guys, Ashley here, also known as the H Leaf Fan. I'm back today with another video. I know it's been weeks probably since I've done a video like this, so please bear with me. I am gonna try my very best to do what I can to upload. So thanks for just being patient and just supporting my channel as always, like you guys do. I am thinking about maybe taking a break from doing my couple videos since I just got done doing finishing the series of the couples I cannot stand. I just finished. I'm thinking about taking a break before I start the couples that should have been in-game list. And I also have a One Tree Hill video that I want to. That's embarrassing. But I also have One Tree Hill season 2 video that I want to talk about. My favorite episodes from season 2. Um, so yeah, and I think I'm gonna start talking about more about some movies. I've been watching a lot of movies lately, and I feel like that I want to talk more about some movies because I don't talk about movies a lot on this channel. So let's talk about them. But not the movie, but today's video is gonna be about the reasons why I think Total Drama Action sucks. For those who don't know, Total Drama Action is a Canadian cartoon. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much all it really is to say. It's a series pretty much with Island, Action, World Tour, and then the other generation with Zoe and them, and then All Stars. I really love the Total Drama. I really love Island, Action, and World Tour. Um, Now, what I love about Action is the nostalgia, but I don't really think this season really holds up to many fans today. And there's a lot of people on YouTube who are talking about how this season just didn't really work. Something about it just fell off. So let's talk about it. The 5 reasons to me why I think this season sucks. Coming in number 5 is the pacing. The pacing was extremely fast in this season. Like the writers did not even give you enough time to digest anything or anyone. They didn't want to give you a chance to really see how much these characters have grown since being on Island. They made every actually no, I'm gonna get into that when we talk about the characters. um no, we'll just talk about it here. I honestly feel like they made not every character, but majority of the characters just look really pointless in this season. Like I Trent was never really my favorite in Island, but he was really a okay character. I just really hate what they done to him because he just feel like he was just not himself. I hated how him and Gwen's relationship just never really progressed. It just really ended on a very sour note to build up her and Duncan, which I think was really, really stupid because Gwen's feelings for Duncan came out of thin ass nowhere. But they made Owen, Gwen, and Heather, the three finalists from the last season, look like complete idiots in this season. Gwen was just really not herself anymore after Island. She just, I don't know, Gwen in this season, she was just really not herself. I really don't know what to say because she really got eliminated very early on. Her and Trent decides to throw challenges for her to get him so she can pay him more attention. I don't know what that was even about. And Justin's team finds out, and they all tell Gwen that she has to start throwing challenges, or to let everybody know the real reason why Trent was eliminated. And I think it was just a terrible way to send Gwen off, especially since she was a really, really complex character in the very first season. I don't know, it just didn't sit well with me. On to Owen's story. Owen didn't do jack shit in this season. At least Gwen had a storyline. Owen didn't do jack shit in this season. Owen is Owen. I do think he's a great personality, but as a character, he doesn't really even grow. He has like no complex. He really has like no compass of where he's going as a character. And believe it or not, this might sound like an unpopular opinion, but Owen is so annoying. He's really annoying. I don't really like. He's not even my favorite character in the show. I don't really like him that much. I honestly feel like for him to win over Gwen in season 1 was complete bullshit. Honestly, I think the person who should have won should have been Heather. That's the even bigger unpopular opinion. But if they weren't gonna go with Heather, I would have said y'all could have at least gone with Gwen, because she actually had more of a character growth in season 1 over Owen. But Owen didn't do jack shit in this season, and that was kind of sad to see because he was like really the underdog in the first season. And to just see him not do anything in this season, was just like, what the fuck did I bring him back for? On to Heather, the person who I feel like they really fucked up the most. Heather did not do anything in this season. She kind of was just there for the ride. I honestly feel like she was just there going through the emotions. She really didn't bring really much to the season. They decided to stop focusing on her villain side and start focusing more on her getting hair. Like, I just don't care for that. I just don't care for that. And I feel like Heather getting eliminated before Lashana was just complete bullshit. Lashana should have gotten eliminated. She proved that she was untrustworthy by being fucking fake on those videos. I just don't get it. The pacing was just all over the place in this season. It felt like everything was just happening extremely fast. Each episode, someone was getting eliminated. Each episode, the challenges just kept getting stupid. And it just felt like there really was no stakes. The pacing just had no stakes. It just had no gravitation. It was just really boring. Coming in number 4, the elimination order. Like I just said, the elimination order had to be one of them. This elimination order reminds me a lot of the All-Stars elimination order. This elimination order was fucking stupid. Everyone who didn't deserve to go left early on. Lindsay, Heather, Gwen, Harold. Who else left that I didn't like? Courtney. These people, honestly, I feel like those should have been people who should have at least stayed on a little bit longer. Why the fuck is Justin still here? Why the fuck is Lashana still here? Why the fuck did Beth stay and become a finalist? What the fuck? That just made, like, absolutely no fucking sense to me. They eliminated everyone who actually had a chance to win and kept the people who had, like, 0 chances on longer, which just makes 0 sense. The elimination order was so bad. And then they brought Owen back. They brought Owen and Izzy back for cameos. And like, who cares about Izzy? I don't care for Izzy. She honestly did not need to be in this season. And I honestly hated the fact that Owen was the only character they kept bringing back every single time for the seasons. He was like, it's like he wasn't the only character that was in the show that had an impact on the audience. The elimination order was just really terrible. Coming in number 3, no real storylines. And I said on this one, this season had like no real storyline to get behind. Like, think about it, in season 1, you had the stuff with Heather having the alliance with Lindsay and Beth, using them to help her win challenges. You had the stuff with Courtney and Duncan. You had the stuff with the Gwen and Heather beef. You had the stuff with Gwen and Trent. Like, that was actually storylines to get behind every week. In season 2, there was nothing to like really get behind. Like, I cannot tell you one storyline that like I was like intrigued by. Each episode just felt like everybody was just going through the emotions, get ready for the challenges, and that pretty much was it. I can't say probably the only real storyline that came in the season was probably when Courtney came and she was just full of rage, ready to win. And going back to her and Duncan. But even that, this season had like no real storyline to get behind or anything. Coming in number 2 is the villains. This season probably had the weakest villains of them all. That's why I was really happy that they got Alejandro in World Tour, because this season was lacking a big villain to put down the baby faces. And you know what? I didn't have a problem with Courtney, but Courtney wasn't really a villain. She wasn't really out to get anybody. She only cared about herself, and she really just wanted to win. And she just wasn't really a villain. I do think when Courtney came back into the season, that's when the season got a little bit more interesting, because at first it was boring as shit. But when she came back in episode 13, I actually loved watching season 2. Even though the season is still bad, I would say the episodes of Courtney were a little bit more entertaining. But Courtney, I love Courtney, but her as a villain just doesn't really work. And Justin, are you fucking joking? Now, I know like 2 years ago over quarantine, I said I love Justin and he should have been All-Stars, but my opinion has changed on him since I'm older now. Justin has to be the most useless character in a very fucking long time. No wonder he was never back in another season because they made a huge mistake bringing him in here. They tried to make him like a Alejandro, but it just didn't work. I will say he did have personality. He was charismatic, but he wasn't really a villain. Like he wasn't really out here trying to win. He wasn't trying to take down anybody else on his team. He wasn't being sneaky. He wasn't being anything. Like he just really stayed. He really stayed way too long. He got eliminated in episode 19, guys. Like he stayed way, way, way too long. And by this time, people like Heather and Gwen, Trent, they were already gone when they could have stayed a little bit longer. It was just complete bullshit. Coming in number one is Beth being in the final round. Who the fuck idea was this? Who the fuck in the writers' room of season 2 said, yeah, Beth deserves to be in the final round with Duncan? Now, they go with the right person, Duncan. I definitely think Duncan deserves to win the season because Duncan, to me, is the best overall character in the Total Drama world. I fucking love Duncan. He is my favorite fucking character in Total Drama. He's so charismatic. He has such a witty personality. He's so funny, so sarcastic. Duncan in seasons 1, 2, and 3, not Duncan in All Stars. That Duncan is fucking a travesty of what Duncan used to be. But the Duncan in seasons 1, 2, and 3 was the best Duncan. But yeah, they want the right person like Duncan because Duncan actually was like really proving himself in the second season. He was doing challenges all the time. He always had something to do. He was always doing something. Like he wasn't just there going through the emotions like everybody else. But Beth, are you kidding me? They really had other options. They could have had chosen Harold or Lindsay to be in the final round. I think a part of me wished that Courtney would have had one a season because Courtney actually had the integrity and the fucking rage to do this. She actually wanted to win the fucking money. I don't want to see a couple versus couple type finale, not like All Stars. That shit was stupid. But I do think the writers did fumble a bag by not making Courtney win the season. That's what I do think. But I think they want to choose someone else to go to the final round with Duncan. It should have been either Lindsay or Harold. Now, if you're asking me who I would have had put Duncan with, probably Harold, because I honestly would have had loved to see maybe Harold be the underdog and overcome Duncan in the final, in the finale. But a part of me felt like if that was to happen, Duncan was going to win because Duncan just has more of a fan following than Harold. But I want had not been against Lindsay either because Lindsay was actually proving herself in this season. She wasn't a lackey anymore. She was really becoming her own character. And like, yeah, she was still kind of a dumb blonde, but at some point she was actually helping them win the challenges and coming up with her own ideas to help. I don't know. I feel like them going with Beth was just really a last minute result, and they really just couldn't. They couldn't outdo the decision, so they just went with Beth, which I think was the worst decision because Beth is not interesting. She didn't do anything all the season besides fall and be clumsy. Like she really had this really had no build up her being into the final round. But anyway, those are my 5 reasons why I told you my action sucks. Please let me know your reasons why this season sucks, and just look out for more videos coming soon.